Today, we're diving into the hidden engine that powers pretty much every major company on the planet, the ERP system. We're going to uncover what it is and, more importantly, see exactly how it turns total corporate chaos into clockwork precision.
So, have you ever really stopped to think about this? How do these massive global companies, we're talking thousands of employees, millions of customers, how do they coordinate everything without just completely falling apart? Well, the answer is actually pretty amazing. They use a single powerful piece of software that acts like a central nervous system for the entire organization. This system is called an ERP, which stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. And to really get why it's such a game changer, we first need to understand the mess it was designed to clean up. All right, let's start with the fundamental issue that plagues so many businesses, big and small. It's a little something called the silo problem.
If you think about any company, it's usually broken down into these core departments, right? You've got marketing and sales bringing in deals, supply chain making and shipping the stuff, accounting chasing the money, and HR handling the people. And on the surface, that makes perfect sense. But here's the catch. Each one can easily become its own little kingdom.
And that's the problem. For decades, each department had its own software, its own spreadsheets, its own data. They were basically operating in isolation, creating what we call information silos. Just picture those giant grain silos you see on a farm. What's happening in one is completely invisible to the others.
And this is where everything starts to break. See, a single function, like a salesperson writing up an order, that can happen neatly inside one department. But a real business process, like actually getting that order to the customer, that has to jump across multiple departments. It has to go from sales to the warehouse over to accounting. And when those silos are in the way, you get absolute chaos.
To make this crystal clear, let's look at the story of a company called Fitter Snacker. They're a snack bar maker that was getting crushed by this exact problem.
Wow. I mean, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? Their systems were a mess, leading to wrong prices, angry customers, and late shipments. These weren't just minor headaches. These were constant, expensive disasters. Let's see exactly why this was happening.
Just look at this process. It's a complete train wreck of manual steps. The salesperson has no clue what's in stock, the clerk can't even check if a customer is good to pay, someone has to physically walk to the warehouse only to find out the product isn't even there, and then accounting has to retype everything, which just invites even more mistakes. It is slow, it's inefficient, and it's basically designed to fail.
And here you have it, the direct results of that broken system. Every single one of those problems leads to this painful list. Angry customers, wrong bills, wasted time, and just lost money. This isn't just an annoyance, it's a legitimate threat to the entire business. So how on earth do you fix a problem this big?
Well, you fix it with one huge, game-changing idea. A single, integrated system that just completely demolishes those silos.
Okay, here's the formal definition. An ERP is the core software that uses one, and this is the key, one common database to link up information from every single part of the business. No more separate systems, no more silos.
This is that central brain we talked about. Now, when sales enters an order, accounting sees it instantly. The warehouse sees it instantly. The people on the production line see it instantly. Everybody is working from the exact same playbook with up-to-the-second information.
And, you know, this idea didn't just pop up overnight. It actually started way back in the 70s with companies like SAP. It grew up on the giant mainframe computers of the 80s, and then it just exploded in the 90s, becoming a global standard. And today, it's all about the cloud, making these systems more powerful and accessible than ever before.
So let's get back to our friends at Fitter Snacker. What happens to their chaotic sales process once they finally install that central brain, the ERP?
Oh, wow. What a difference, huh? The data gets entered just one time. Instead of a person making a phone call, the system instantly checks the customer's credit. Instead of someone walking to the warehouse, it does a real-time available-to-promise check, guaranteeing the product is there before the sale's even finalized. Then it automatically tells the warehouse what to ship and creates a perfect invoice. The manual work, the delays, the mistakes, poof, they're just gone. It's now one smooth, seamless workflow.
I mean, the contrast really couldn't be more clear. You go from a system that's literally built on delays and errors to one that runs on real-time data and accuracy. You go from departments that don't talk to each other to one truly integrated company.
So what's the ultimate payoff for a business that goes through this? Why does this matter so much in the grand scheme of things? Well, the benefits are just huge. When you get rid of all that waste and rework, your costs plummet. It becomes way easier to run a global company because everyone's on the same page. Your managers can finally make smart decisions based on what's happening right now, not what happened last week. And maybe the biggest one of all, your customers get a much, much better experience.
And look, this isn't just some nice idea. The numbers absolutely back it up. A study by Pearstone Research found that of the companies that actually tracked their return on investment from an ERP, a massive 63% reported a positive ROI. Think about that. In most cases, this thing literally pays for itself by making the business run better.
So we'll end with this question. An ERP system really isn't just a piece of software. It's a whole new way of operating. It's about getting every single part of a company to speak the same language, look at the same data, and pull in the same direction. And when you finally achieve that kind of unity, well, what you can achieve is pretty much limitless.